Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Kaylin, and today in this video I will be talking about my thyroid story. How I found nodules in my thyroid, how I had a hemi-thyroidectomy, and how I found out that the nodules in my thyroid had cancer. It all started March 25th, 2020 in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic. I woke up one morning and my throat felt sore, so I went and drank some green tea and lemon, which I typically do because I'm a tea drinker. And so I drank that and just went on about my day. I was just thinking that I was coming on with like a cold or something. So fast forward throughout the day, I feel like my throat is getting tighter and tighter. And so I go in the kitchen and I tell my mom like, hey, like I'm not really feeling too well. My throat feels like it's getting tight. Feels like it's like swelling. I feel like I have a sore throat. I'm not really sure like what could be going on. Notices that I have a lump on the left side of my throat. And so she's like, Kaylin, like you should go in the mirror and check that out. So I go in the mirror, check it out, and indeed there's a big like lump inside my throat just right there. And so I'm like, oh shoot, like what's going on? And so she thinks I might be having an allergic reaction, so I take Benadryl and I knock out. So the next day I wake up and my throat is still swollen. I still have the lump in my throat. And so I was like, my mom was like, you should call the doctor. But during quarantine and COVID, the doctor's offices wasn't really open and they were only doing phone calls. So I called the doctor, tell her what's going on, and she thinks that my lymph nodes are just swollen. And so she said, oh, you're just sick, it's just swollen, like it should go away in a couple of days. If it gets worse, call again and I'll prescribe you some antibiotics. 4 days go by and it's getting worse. Like I'm having heart palpitations now, my throat is sore and it's swollen. Like it's difficult for me to swallow and like kind of breathe. It's like I have to like turn my head like a certain way so that I can breathe. And I'm getting like dizzy and nauseated and it's just not going well at all. So I call my doctor and I'm like, hey, like I need to see you. And so with my doctor I have like this portal thing where I can like send her pictures. So I'm like, hey, like let me send you a picture of like what's going on. So I sent her the picture and she's like, okay, come in. I think it was like 2 days later she had an appointment of when she would be in the office. So I go in the doctor's office, see her. She's like, yeah, I don't think this is your lymph nodes. And I was like, yeah, told you. And so I do an ultrasound and blood test. So the results come back for that, and it shows that I had nodules on my left side and my right side, but more so on my left side. It was really big, which was probably blocking my airways and things like that. So she refers me to an endocrinologist. I go to the endocrinologist. He suggested that I take a thyroid biopsy to make sure like the nodules weren't cancerous or anything like that, or anything serious going on. So I go do the thyroid biopsy, and basically the thyroid biopsy, they have like needles and they like go like stab in your like nodule. And so that was fun. So the result for that came back and it said everything was fine, everything was okay, like it was benign. So now my endocrinologist said, well, it's not cancer, so we can go ahead and do surgery if it's bothering you or if it's like a cosmetic thing. And so I went ahead and scheduled an appointment with the surgeon because, like I said, it was difficult swallowing and breathing. So I went to the surgeon. So she recommended that I go ahead and do surgery because the nodule was pushing up against things in my neck and making my neck so swollen, and because I was having difficulty swallowing and breathing. So she was just like, just take it out, because normally nodules tend to grow, like they don't tend to just stop growing or like decrease in size. So I was like, okay. And because like it was just really much so the left side that was causing a problem, I opted to get a hemi-thyroidectomy, which is also called a partial thyroidectomy. So a hemi-thyroidectomy or a partial hemi-thyroidectomy means basically just taking out half of your thyroid and maybe the isthmus, I think I'm saying that right. And so that's what I did. On August 7th, I had my partial Hemi-Thyroidectomy with the isthmus taken out. And oh my gosh, that was the story, because I did the surgery because everything's in quarantine. Like, my family couldn't be there. It was just me by myself going through it alone. and so yeah, I did the surgery. I woke up from the surgery. I was very nauseated because of the anesthesia that they gave me. Because I have asthma, the nurse said that they gave me gas. I don't know, like gas anesthesia, I don't know. And that, I guess, tends to make people more nauseated. So I was just throwing up. And so she finally gave me a patch, a nausea patch. I don't want to, like, butcher the name because I will butcher the name. But I'll put it probably on the screen or something of, like, what's it called. And so I was given that patch, and it tells you to, well, they tell you to leave it on for about 3 days. And so the patch helped. I stopped throwing up, and I went home. So after surgery, like, the recovery is pretty easygoing. I think I just had a bad time with recovery because of the patch that I was given. Excuse me. The side effects of the patch is like blurred vision, dizziness, and all that other stuff, which I experienced like 2 days later, and it was not fun at all. Like, I could not, like, see right. It was horrible. And so I took that thing off because I was like, I don't like this. So I took it off, and I experienced side effects from that patch all the way until recently, honestly, which is about maybe like a month. So basically, I've had side effects from that for like a month. It was horrible. Like, I feel like my vision is just now getting better. Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't want to have that patch ever again. So after surgery, you have a 2-week like follow-up appointment with your surgeon to make sure everything is going well, everything's healing smoothly, and everything like that. So I went in, she examined me, everything was a-okay. But she was just waiting on my pathology reports, because after I did the surgery, they took it over to Pathology to just look at it and see like what was going on. And so during that time, she didn't have the results yet because they had sent it off to some place in San Francisco, I guess, for a second opinion. And she was basically saying, like, don't worry about it. Like, stuff like this happens all the time because thyroid disease is so, I don't want to say evolving, but thyroid disease is ever changing. Like, they're learning more and more about it. She just said that they probably just needed like a second opinion to make sure like everything was okay. So on August 24th, I had a follow-up appointment with my endocrinologist, and I was just waiting in the waiting room as usual. It was taking longer than usual, so I was texting like my family like, yo, like, they're taking a long time. Not that I had anything else to do, like, it's quarantine, coronavirus, like, yeah. So he comes in, closes the door, and he was all like, well, unfortunately, they found that your nodules were thyroid follicular carcinoma. Thyroid follicular carcinoma. Thyroid follicular carcinoma. And I was like, what? And so basically he was all like, good thing we did take it out. But seeing as though you have nodules on your right side, and seeing as though we missed it when we did the biopsy for the left side, he recommended that I go ahead and take out my right side as well. So he said I had time to process it, and so that's what I did. I went home, processed it, talked it over with my family, and talked to my surgeon about it, and she recommended that I go ahead and get the right side removed as well. So I called my endocrinologist and told him that I spoke with my surgeon and that I want to take out the right side as well, seeing as though we didn't catch it when I did the biopsy on my left side, and since I have nodules there, just take it all out. I don't want to deal with it. And so he ordered for me to do a blood test to check my thyroid levels, make sure I wasn't going hypothyroidism or anything like that, and just making sure like everything was okay. So when I took my thyroid blood test on September 15th, my thyroglobin levels were pretty high. Mine was at a 103.8, and normal range is between, I believe, 1.5 to 38.5 range. And so a thyroglobin is used to like test for like tumor markers and stuff like that, but it's a protein made by your thyroid gland. So basically, after finding that my thyroglobin levels are high, I was just more confirmation like, yes, let's take this out. So after surgery, my endocrinologist said I would be placed on thyroid hormone medicine for the rest of my life because I will no longer have a thyroid, and your thyroid is pretty important. It helps regulate your metabolism, your energy, and things like that. And so, yeah, I'll be placed on thyroid hormone medicine, as well as going through radioactive iodine treatment just to kill off any other thyroid cells that I may have or anything like that. And hopefully no cancer will be coming back anytime soon after that. And basically after that, just keep monitoring myself, making sure my thyroid levels are okay with the medicine that they gave me, and that I don't fall too below, so I won't experience hypothyroidism. So going through this experience has been very interesting for me because I'm a nursing major. So as like all this was going on, I was learning about the endocrine system and the thyroid function and how important it is, and the different types of thyroid diseases that are going around, and the different types of cancers associated with your thyroid. So when the doctors were telling me things, that was a little bit like, I kind of like knew what they were talking about. I mean, not totally because they're doctors, but I kind of like knew what they were talking about, and it kind of, I guess, eased things over for me because I kind of like knew like, okay, this is like what's expected and things like that. My goal of this video is just to bring awareness for you guys, and like make sure you guys check yourself, feel on yourself. I mean, like, not feel on yourself, but like do self-examinations and make sure there's no lumps, bumps, nodules, anything crazy or out of the ordinary. And if you do feel something, bring it up with your doctor, talk to your doctor about it, and do tests. I mean, do blood tests, do other tests, do ultrasounds, do whatever tests you can do to make sure you're okay and you're fine. I forgot to show you guys my scar. So this is my scar that I have. It's pretty, I don't know, I feel like it's healing pretty well. My surgeon told me to get this, which is biocorneum advanced scar treatment, and it has a sunscreen in it, SPF 50. This is what I use twice a day for my scar. So I will be doing a follow-up video after my total thyroidectomy. Well, complete thyroidectomy, I think that's what they call it. So I will be doing another video on that, and I will continue doing videos on my thyroid because I think there's not too many videos out there on life after thyroid surgery. It's just pretty much like, oh, I had thyroid surgery and then boom, that's it. And so I wanted to like keep doing follow-up appointments, follow-up videos on that. I also am a nursing major, so if you guys want to know why I chose nursing, how I got here, what I'm doing right now, or if you want to talk about all the classes that we're taking right now, let me know. I also will probably do more videos on my life, like a little bit of Kay, a little bit of myself. So if you guys want to know more about me or get to know me more, just let me know and I'll do a video on whatever topic it is that you want to know. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you watching through the whole video and listening to me talk. If you guys want to see anything else from me, please leave a comment down below and I will do anything. Well, not anything, but like anything. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.